Thank you so much, and welcome to everybody. And it's been great to be able to be invited to speak about the Palo Alto Networks Academy as well. So I suppose one of the things that I always laugh at here is that my particular title. So it says there that I'm Senior Academy Technical Engineer. That is my actual job title and my job function. So yes, that is on my signature. But actually, I also am managing the Academy program in Asia and also in EMEA, and I'm the lead technical for any technical related matters from the Palo Alto Networks Academy as well. So even though a title might say one thing, we wear many hats inside in the Palo Alto Networks Academy program as well. So if you want to move on from the slide there, Eric, thank you so much, and I'll jump on to the next one there as well. Perfect. So one of the missions, of course, is talking about educating the workforce of tomorrow. So, rather than reading the actual slide, I think, an easier way to maybe think about this is, as Eric has mentioned, with all of the other academy partners and technological companies that they are working with, it is so important for that student to get a understanding of many different technologies. And of course, Palo Alto Networks is one of those technologies that come into place. So from a PUE perspective, and from Palo Alto Networks perspective, we want to make sure that that student has a great understanding and deep technical knowledge of many different areas. To give you a point and example, we often have, offline lab access to some of our courses. And some of those offline lab access might be using the likes of VMware Workstation or a hypervisor manager. So, the student is not just getting Palo Alto Networks firewall and cybersecurity techniques, but they're also being able to use other technologies to be able to install a virtual appliance onto a hypervisor manager or a workstation, for instance, as well with them. So we want to make sure that we prepare those students for those successful careers in cybersecurity. So we look at that from a few different ways. We grow the pipeline of future employees of Palo Alto Networks, of future employees of our channel distributor team, of customers, but we also grow it for individuals themselves that want to be able to go into different areas of cybersecurity. And something that to be aware of here as well is you don't have to be that cybersecurity computer geek to get a job in the cybersecurity environment, because everything is online. We always have to be aware, and we always have to protect individuals online in an everyday scenario. So Eric, if you want to go on to the next slide there for me, please. Just to give you a quick little background of different areas that we would use. Of course, we are number 9 of 95 of Fortune 100. We are the leader in cybersecurity. We have over 85,000 customers worldwide, and we actually just hit a great milestone at the end of our FY22, which is we have our FY22 in August 22. What let's say is the end of January, the end of December of 2022. We have now, if you jump onto the next slide there as well, Eric, we have currently just hit a milestone of 2,250 plus academies worldwide in over 86 countries, and we have also hit another great milestone of over 400,000 plus students, and I wouldn't even say students trained, I would say students that have been exposed or have touched on cybersecurity technologies. And the reason why I say have been exposed to it is because we believe that not one solution fits all. So it might be that an academy, a university, a school wants to be able to take a module from our curriculum and be able to plug that into their particular semester or term. Can that be done? Of course it can be as well. And just to give you an idea as well, the high schools very much in the US based, 160 plus high schools based around that as well. So we have curriculum for ages of 5 years of age all the way up to adult learners on the academy program as well with them. So if you want to jump across to the next slide there as well. And again, just some marketing here about innovation needs diversity to succeed, of course. We see that in an everyday scenario, and this has always been the case across many different areas of IT, that there is a big gap between both male employees and female employees. So we are seeing over the last maybe 18 months, a lot more female students that are taking our courses and our curriculum, which is also a great way to be able to work from an everyday scenario. But also we see people from many different ethnic, religion, backgrounds, etc., with them from different geographical areas. So as I mentioned, we have over 2,250 academies worldwide, and they are essentially worldwide as well with them. Okay, if you want to just skip on one more slide again. Now, this is just to give you an idea about the Academy program itself. And I'll explain the courses as well in a moment. But, one of the things to be aware of here is that we cover, the basics, the fundamentals of cybersecurity. We have introductory courses based around those, and all the way up to advanced courses on firewall, cloud, and endpoint security as well. We offer on 90% of our courses, we offer hands-on labs that are free for that learner to be able to access them through our partner of Network Development Group. And we do have some advanced labs and advanced courses that we would provide free access to the students, that they would allow them to be able to load them onto an offline content as well with them. We also sponsor lots and lots of different academy competitions like Secure the Future, CCDC, and cyber.org, which again wouldn't be too notable in EMEA. So what are the ones we would use in EMEA? Well, we would have a European Cybersecurity Challenge, for instance, that has been running yearly and annually over the last few years. World Skills, which is a huge one as well. And of course, World Skills use the Palo Alto Networks firewalls to help prepare those students to be able to take those competitions as well with them. And one of the benefits of the Academy program as well is any institution that signs up to be an academy, those instructors of those institutions get free certification vouchers, professional certification vouchers. On the student side, we offer a 40% discount for any of the certifications that student would wish to take. Typically, we look at it from our fundamental one, which is the PCCET. And then we also look at it for the intermediate/advanced, which is the PCNSA certification process as well. But I believe that's fine, Eric. You stay where you are. I really do believe that certification is not for everybody. So our courses themselves, they encompass a certificate of completion for each of our courses. But if a student wishes to move forward and take a professional certification, of course, we will give them the 40% discount on that as well. So on the information going from left to right, you'll notice that we have curriculum, faculty training, virtual firewalls, and discounted certifications. So the curriculum, of course, can be incorporated into any program and certifications. It aligns to the NICE or NIST framework. And what the NICE NIST framework is essentially is like, let's say I want to become a level 2 support engineer for firewalls. Well, what type of courses would I need to be able to prepare myself to take a job on that? Is it the likes of CompTIA Network Plus, Security Plus? Is it Cisco CCNA? Is it, for instance, a VCP from VMware? Is it PCNSA from Palo Alto Networks? So the NICE NIST framework gives a kind of a job overview of the different areas of what would be needed to do for that student to be able to get a specific work related post as well. Again, jumping across there to the right, we have faculty training. Sorry, if you just go back one bit there again, sorry, Eric. If you go to faculty training there, you'll see that we have, all of our faculty training is now enabled on online on a self-paced basis. But we partner with the likes of PUE, which do a fantastic job, by the way, of also bringing on faculty instructor-led train-to-trainer programs as well. That PUE would organize on an annual basis as well with them. But there is also the self-paced asynchronous training if they wish to. And then on the right there, you have virtual firewalls. And again, we believe, and I think this is very important. So everybody learns in a different way. Some people like to learn it from reading the book. Some people like to learn it from looking at video content and e-learning. And other people, like myself, like to be able to do it from a hands-on technical approach. So I really want to be able to, get deep into the weeds of being able to configure a firewall and making sure that I understand how that firewall works and how I can protect my traffic going from inside my network to the World Wide Web, or from the World Wide Web into my my network, or even traffic traversing internally within my network. Maybe it's going from my campus network to my production network to my my R&D network. Again, is that secure? Is it being analyzed? Is it being analyzed in the correct way, etc. with them? So that all encompassed with the curriculum, with the faculty training, with our firewalls. And as mentioned to you guys, you also have your discounted certifications. That is 40% at the student level and free at the instructor level. And we also, of course, offer student guides, study guides, and of course practice exams as well with them. So if you want to just jump on to the next slide there for me, Eric, please. And this is an idea of the different types of courses that we would run on the Academy program. So if I look at it from left to right, which is the first one is in kind of an orangey yellow, which is Strata. That is our enterprise security. Then we have our Prisma, which is our cloud security, and then we have our endpoint security, which is our Cortex, or even fundamentals of the Security Operating Center, the SOC itself. So down on the bottom of that screen, you'll notice that we have introductory courses. So we have Cybersecurity Foundation, Network Security Fundamentals, Cloud Security Fundamentals, and Security Operation Fundamentals. Each of those 4 courses have all built-in labs free of charge for the instructor and for the student. So anyone that signs up to become an Academy partner of us and PUE get access to all of this. And all that student would need is a good network connection that they can access the curriculum and then be able to access the hands-on lab environment as well. One of the courses to draw your attention to here is the Network Security Fundamentals, because I like that one, and it's just there under introductory courses. It's on the yellow side or the orange side, Network Security Fundamentals. And the reason why I mention this one is because if I'm looking at studying Cisco CCNA, or if I'm looking at studying Cantillon Network Plus, I need to have a great understanding of the likes of my subnetting option, my OSI layer, my VPN options, all of these different areas. So we have that network security fundamentals that is vendor neutral. So the introductory courses are all vendor neutral. You don't have to work on the Palo Alto Network side of things. It could be that they're a supplementary details for other courses within your academy, university, school, etc. With them. And one of the, I suppose, biggest growing industries at the moment, especially for Palo Alto Networks, is the cloud security area. With that cloud security area, it's very, very important that we understand that it's the same security that's needed from the physical to the cloud, but it works in a different way with it. So I would always say that we get the foundation right, the network security fundamentals done right, then we move across to our cloud, then we move across to our endpoint security as well. So those introductory courses, each of those 4 courses would lead the user or student and prepare them to take the PCCET professional certification if they wanted to. Just in the middle of the screen then, I have on the left, underneath Strata, Enterprise Security, I have Enterprise Security Deployment and Enterprise Security Management. And I also have Firewall Essentials. So to give you an example of this, the Firewall Essentials is actually our commercial course. So if a student was to go to a commercial training center and actually purchase that course, it would cost a lot of euros to do that. We offer those courses, of course, free in the Academy program, but that particular course, the Firewall Essentials, would prepare the student to take the certification of the PCNSA certification with them. And that could be done as a bootcamp scenario within the your Academy program, for instance, with it. Or if you wanted to break this down into semester-long trainings, that's why we've broken the course into two parts, which is Enterprise Security Management and Enterprise Security Deployment. And also we've added, activities, learning resources, e-learning areas, lab resources with them, and different items that can be used for the instructor or teacher to be able to enable that students to prepare for successful certification, successful passing of their course, successful passing of their modules, etc. as well with them. And as I mentioned down at the very, very bottom there, it says all academic courses align to the US NICE framework and cybersecurity work roles. We are seeing that starting to become prevalent in Europe, but we're not there yet with that option as well. If you want to just jump on to the next slide there, Eric, and I'm just going to check the chat window as well to make sure there's anything that I have from my side. Everything is okay there. All right, so you'll notice here we have our intro courses, our advanced courses, and then our certifications as the options as well. If you want to jump on to the next course as well, because the next slide, I've kind of covered those as well. These are some of the modules and labs associated with the fundamental courses with them. So they're the individual labs. And to give you an example of what's useful in these would be, let's say if I look at the Cybersecurity Foundation one, and I draw number 4, which is Cybersecurity Design Models. Really, really nice feature to look at. If I look at the Cloud Security Fundamentals on the right, and I look at Cloud and Data Center Security on number 3 there, again, very, very important that we have our physical data center, and then we're migrating a lot of that technology up to the cloud, which again essentially is a data center somewhere else. So is that secure? How are we going to secure that area, and what type of traffic are we going to let in, let out, etc. as well with them? And then going to the bottom left, we have our network security fundamentals, and again, I think that's a very, very good one to look at is the IP addressing and packet encapsulation. And then lastly, on the Cortex side of things, we want to think about the threat prevention and intelligence engines behind the Palo Alto Networks information. Now, again, these courses are all vendor neutral, and these topics are all vendor neutral. However, the labs themselves would be done on the Palo Alto Networks products, which makes sense with them. But the actual theory around the fundamental courses would be done on a vendor neutral basis as well. Okay, if you want to jump on to the next slide there, Eric, for me. These are some of the labs that are done on the fundamental courses with it. Now, I can see here that the slide deck is actually focusing a lot on the fundamental areas. That's okay, because again, Rome wasn't built in a day. We want to make sure that the individual has a good understanding of the basics before they go into the more advanced topics. Does that mean that you as an instructor have to teach all of these courses first before you go to the advanced course? Absolutely not. We do not dictate on anything that you wish to be able to teach. If you decide that you only want to choose on Prisma side here, configuring host information profiles for Global Protect on Lab 5, if that's the only one you want to use from all of these 4 courses, That's absolutely fine. So we enable you with the information, and then it's up to you to decide what you want to be able to teach to your students going forward as well with them. Eric, if you want to jump on to the next slide as well for me. And these are, as I mentioned, the advanced courses with it. So what I see the difference here is on the fundamental tracks, we see anyone that is maybe in high school or anybody that is a learner between the ages of, let's say, 12 to 20 years of age. Then we see individuals coming into university, or individuals that have left university and they want to be able to get into the more advanced topics. That's when I look at the enterprise security deployment and management, or cloud security deployment, or security operations deployment as well with them. Now, these ones have offline lab access. So we don't, there's an NDG access, but there's a cost associated with the NDG access. And I think it's always important to know that there is an alternative way, a free way to be able to get those access to the labs as well. And that free way would be to use the likes of a hypervisor manager, like let me see, Microsoft Hyper-V, KVM OpenStack, to give an example, or in case, you know, we look at VMware, and we look at, you know, the VMware workstation, and of course an ESXi server as well, and the option to be able to connect to your main one, which is your vSphere option to manage those as well with them. And how does that work? Well, we would provide you with all of the OVA images, all of the information, and also a deployment guide to be able to set that up either on the individual's laptop, PC, or if it was on that hypervisor manager that your students are remotely connecting into that lab environment as well. So again, depending on the choice that you would make with it. Okay, so if you jump on to the next one for me, Eric, that just gives you a kind of a deeper area of the different types of certifications that we would use. But one of the things here that I want to draw your attention to is the work roles. You'll notice there that I have, you know, work roles on my PCCET, Palo Alto Networks certified cybersecurity entry-level technician. And you'll notice that, you know, an individual would be looking at from a help desk, network operation, a specialist, cyber threat analyst, etc. Or if I was looking at from the PCNSA level, which is your Palo Alto Networks cybersecurity certified security administrator, and that would be looking at it from a security architecture, a cybersecurity analyst, or a systems administrator. Now, we have many, many other certifications, and one of the other certifications that we would use, no problem, Eric, I'll finish now in a moment. One of the certifications that is getting very, very prevalent now is, of course, the PCNSE, which is the higher one up of that as well. Do you, as part of the Academy program, have access to that as well? Of course. So lastly, the last slide is if you want to become a Palo Alto Networks Academy, then you will complete the Academy agreement online. Once we analyze that, if it's coming in from, you know, from Spain and Barcelona, then we link in with PUE to make sure that the welcome steps are sent, and that it's making sure that we have a clear and concise path for you, the Academy, to be able to get onto the curriculum and the training courses that they plan to teach. And that's it. You're ready to begin teaching. So there's no cost. There is nothing there that's that would to say, oh, is there any hidden costs whatsoever? The only cost that's there is if you wished to be able to purchase the labs for the advanced classes using NDG, there would be a cost per learner, but we offer an alternative free option, which is to be able to load that onto the likes of a OVA for Hyper-V, for ESXi, etc. as well. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you today. I hope that I've given you a bit of an overview of the Academy program from Palo Alto Networks, and you know, feel free to reach out to me here in the Academy team, or of course the great team in PUE as well. Thank you, Eric.